What's good, y'all? How are y'all? I hope that y'all are doing well today. I'm doing very well today. We're gonna talk about a few things today, right? We have to, of course, discuss the Houston Rockets game. We for sure have to discuss, Devin MIP. We're gonna chop it up about Wemby. You know how this goes, right? But first things first. Today, I just want to tell you, quick story, just fast story. Today, decided I was gonna go to my local HEB. Um, my friends and family in Dallas might not quite know what a HEB is, right? But Houston, San Antonio, we both have a grocery store called HEB, right? Fantastic grocery store, plenty of high quality products, has a nice family feel to it, right? Vibe. Robert Ray, with my Spurs paraphernalia and whatnot on, walk into a Houston, Texas HEB today. A Houston, Texas HEB. Now, Houston Rockets fans, if you watch my last video, part of the reason why you can't skip videos, you can't miss none of them. You saw in my last video, I talked about, how the general feel of Houston Rockets fans is a little off. You know what I'm saying? They was asking Jabari Smith to do hitman jobs on Victor Wembanyama. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of energy going on. And, I tasked all of my Spurs friends to do their best to be patient with the Rockets in their time of need. You know what I mean? Just because we solid like that and we big up like that, that's how we get down. Robert Ray, Spurs fan Robert Ray, with Spurs fan paraphernalia all on his body, walks into the shadow of the valley of the shadow of death, into a Houston Rockets filled HEB, right? Imagine you look to your left, somebody got a Houston Rockets hat on, right? Imagine you look to your right, somebody got the t-shirt on that's all black with the white. It was real bland looking, but he got a t-shirt on that got a Rocket symbol on it, right? You know what I'm saying? You see somebody, you know what I'm saying, behind you, they got a whole jersey on, right? It's that type of vibe, right? I just want to let you know they're down really, really bad right now. And you want to know how I know? You want to know how I know? I saw it with my own eyes, right? I had my San Antonio Spurs hat on with the old symbol on it. You know what I'm saying? You know how that go. Let them know I've been repping. I've been about this for a minute now. You know what I mean? You would not imagine the looks I got today. You wouldn't imagine it. The pain that's in their eyes. You wouldn't imagine it. You couldn't. You couldn't imagine it. Just the hurt and disgust. That's how they was looking at me, just like that. Like I was funky. You know what I mean? But I get it. I understand it. You know what I mean? Houston Rockets fans, ever since Victor Wembanyama told y'all that he ain't want y'all for real, y'all just been feeling a type of way. And I understand it. I get it. I completely get it. But once again, there is therapy. There are hugs to be gotten by those that need them. And I think, for your mental health, I think that's something that you need. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be looking at me like I smell like, dirty cheese or something like that, then I can't be the one to give you the hug. You know what I'm saying? But man, I want to say it's gonna be all right for y'all, but it might not be. Right? Y'all got Dylan Brooks on your team. It might not be cool for y'all. Y'all might have to live in torment for a minute. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is one reason that I know Rockets fans is gonna be down bad for a minute. This is how I know where they are mentally as a conglomerate, as a group. Check this out. We're gonna pull this up real smooth. I just want y'all for a second to take it in and see what about this post right here feels wrong to y'all. Right? While the game was going on, my man's decided, let me go ahead and get this one off. You know what I mean? Rockets fans, this gentleman right here, I don't know nothing about his affiliation per se. I did go look on I clicked his picture real quick. You know what I'm saying? I saw him with his nice beard and whatnot. I clicked his picture real quick. Went over there, saw Rockets on that John somewhere. That's all I needed to know, right? It made the whole context of everything make sense. So this gentleman posted a clip of the cleanest block I've ever seen in my life. I don't know that I've ever seen a cleaner block than this. If this ain't a block, then it's a steal. I don't know. It's something. It's something, right? He posted this with his whole chest, both of his pectorals, and said that this was a foul. Now, I, like you at this point, have watched this same clip at least 54 times. Like, you know what I'm saying? Probably about 57 and a half times, right? I've seen the same exact clip from different angles and different all types of stuff. And I don't see where there could have possibly been but that's because there's not. There's not a foul. He's deluded into seeing a foul, right? He created this with his own minds and superstitions and whatnot. That's how this came to be. It was a ghost foul. You know what I'm saying? That he just believed in ghosts like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened in this situation. I want to give Houston Rockets fans the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? I want to truly believe that y'all are doing your best. But honestly, y'all are being led astray. You know, Dylan Brooks is a goofy. And he on your team. And you got to root for him because he on your team, even though he a goofy. So, like, I hear you. You know what I'm saying? I understand that pain that's in your eyes. I get it. Right? Y'all done had a whole bunch of, high draft picks that turned into Jalen Green, who be doing weird stuff, and turned into Jabari Smith, who got double blocked and was, I love Jabari as a player, but, hey, he be acting scared sometimes when Victor out there. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Y'all gonna be all right. I believe it, actually. Y'all gonna be okay. One day. It ain't gonna be soon, but one day y'all gonna be all right. Man. That was such a fun game to watch, yo. That was such a fun game to watch. I'm gonna enjoy playing the Rockets, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Is playing the Rockets. It's gonna be fun as hell. Ooh-wee. But anyways, on to more important matters. Devin Vassell is going to be most improved player this year. I just want to go ahead and y'all go ahead. I'm not a betting man myself. But y'all go ahead and put y'all $5 on that. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to go ahead and add that to y'all parlay or something. I don't know what y'all be doing with y'all money. But yeah, Devin Vassell, that man's gonna be MIP. For real. He's so confident. He knows where his spots are and how to get to them. He has a signature move and a bag, right? You see that man do the Penny Hardaway, step back 360, John. It don't make sense every time that he does it. It don't make sense that he's smooth with it and gets it off all the time. Right? So he has a signature move, and then he also has a bag. Like, he also has, multiple I'm finna get open and you can't do nothing about it moves. Right? I think the thing that really, really stuck out to me the last two games, right? Not just in preseason, but also, the couple of regular season games, was in both of those games, he showed a superstar mentality, right? A superstar thought process, right? I think as Spurs fans and even as, just NBA watchers in general, we can have plenty of conversations about whether or not his ceiling is superstar ceiling, right? He definitely, you can't say anything about him having a star or an all-star ceiling right now. But, right, one of those top 10, top 15 guys in the league type of thing, right? His mentality is there. Even if you can, we can argue back and forth about whether the skill set there, right, or the ceiling is there, right? The mentality is there, right? Why do I say that? you can't stop him from getting to his spots. This is not like a I'm planning for you type of, I'm finna switch stuff up for my defense type of thing. When Kevin Durant gets on the court, Kevin Durant is getting to his spots. When Luka Doncic gets on the court, Luka Doncic is getting to his spots. There's just guys who, point blank period, it doesn't really matter, right? Like you can do a whole bunch of, trying to, put two people on me or ice the screen or whatever you want to do, right? And it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna get to my spots, right? He's also getting to the point where he's obviously the vocal leader on a team with Victor Wembanyama on it, right? He's a vocal leader. He's the guy, right? On a team with Keldon Johnson on it, right? On a team with other guys who have been on this team, know the system, know Pop, can get you, mentally where you need to be, right? We have multiple of those guys on the team, and they all follow Devin, right? I think these are traits that all make up somebody who has, a superstar level impact, if nothing else, right? This man scoring 22 plus points this year. And that's me trying to be conservative. So when y'all play this back, y'all ain't talking to me like I'm crazy. You know what I mean? Because in my mind, Devin he just does pull up 3-pointers in the middle of the game at random points in time, right? He just, you try to push him off of the line, and he has a mid-range game that he'll get into. You know what I mean? He's become a better passer and been able to find the open man more consistently. I don't know. And I'm a fan and have been since he came from Florida State. So I want to say that he going to, break off 30 pieces on people. But I'm gonna shut up. Because I don't need that smoke for real. So Devin finna be MIP, and y'all just sit back, strap your seatbelt in real smooth. Victor Wembanyama. That man different, y'all. That man different. Oh man. I feel so lucky to have that man on my team, because if I'd be a hater, I ain't even gonna lie to you, I'd be hating extra hard if that man wasn't on my team. Boy, what did we learn about Victor this game, man? I think, we've as Spurs fans have gotten to the point where we understand exactly what he means to us, to the team, to the franchise, to the NBA. We understand that really. I think as Spurs fans right now, we're focused on what can we learn about our superstar. And in the, I think the franchise is the same way, right? What can we learn about Wemby right now so that we can then put him in the best position to succeed, right? I think these are the things that we learned in this game. Number one, he needs the ball in his hand, right? I think from the Maverick game, you saw and by needs the ball in his hand, I don't mean that he can't move off ball. I don't mean, because he does have a high skill set in being able to do that. I don't think that it's not that he can't, find his own offense, by being screen and roll guy, that type of thing. But I think the best version of Victor Wembanyama exists when he has the ball in his hand, right? I think that's the difference between him and some of the more traditional 7-4 players that we've ever seen in the league. Is if you're 7-4, I really just want you setting screens and roll into the basket, right? Like that's how I'm finna use your 7-4-ness, right? I might post you up, that type of thing, right? Victor Wembanyama, I'm like, nah, bro, go get that rebound and run down the court. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, like go ahead and we're all gonna come down. We're gonna do a little play for you, get you open somewhere around the post. You know what I mean? Face a dude up, hit him with a couple of jab steps, and yam that John. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not mad at you for doing any of those things. We're not mad at you for going out there and doing a double cross in between, step back type of situation. Like, we're not mad at you for that. you saw in this Rockets game that I think he realized like, oh yeah, I'm the best player on the floor, like by far, right? I love Fred VanVleet's game in a general sense, but Fred VanVleet ain't Victor Wembanyama. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're not even in the same tier of player. So, right, this is a game where you go out there and you play super aggressive. Now, did he make those shots? No. And I think that's where the growth comes in. But seeing a guy who already has that mentality from the jump, I think, we're learning a lot. I think that first game, he was like, okay, cool, it's my first game. He did come out and do his thing. He did Victor Wembanyama things, which was, really, really great to see. But I think that loss stung. I think playing against Luka and losing that way, I think it stung. And I think him not getting the ball in his hands, everybody had a conversation about it. Him not getting found, people not finding him enough. Everybody had a conversation about that. Yeah, and I'm sure Pop this game was like, hey, dude, we're going to get you the ball. Go do your thing. I'm sure that's a good portion of the conversations of how they're going, right? So one of the things that we definitely learned was like, yeah, go ahead and put the ball in this man's hand, which duh, right? I feel like that sounds like obvious, right? But I think that the other guys on the team in their mind are thinking, I want to do everything I can to make it as easy on him as possible. So if that means carrying my scoring load, then I'm going to do that, right? If that means, making sure that I can get hot so I have a little bit of gravity to me so that Victor, has open lanes and things like that, then I'm going to do that. I think was the mentality in the Mavericks game. The mentality in the Rockets game was like, hey, big dog, you got it. Right? Especially in the beginning, you saw Devin deferring even. And you could tell that there was a conversation that guy had. That was really, really fun to see, just him being that aggressive from the jump. Like I said, he's going to need to make those threes, but 3-point shooters live and die. Right? They live by the 3, they die by the 3. It eventually got to the point where he realized, like, okay, cool, I'm finna stop taking these. I think he even looked over at the bench, looked over at Pop, like, that's on me. You know what I mean? I got you. That's on me. So yeah, like I think we learned a lot. I think we also learned, okay, in my mind, these are the two victors that we have, that we work with, that we see at any given time. There's one victor that's playing quote unquote free. He's playing experimental, right? You could tell he's just trying shit. You know what I mean? And then there's another Victor Wembanyama that gets locked in and is super, super focused on executing like the simplest possible way type of thing. Just from like what I know from watching his game, I can tell that at the beginning of games, he's more in the mind of the first one. I think if, you can come out in a game and the experimental stuff is hitting for you, then you already know, like, okay, cool, this is I'm finna drop 40 game. Like that's what's happening in his head, right? I think after a certain point in time, you start to feel like, okay, the threes aren't dropping. I'm doing pull-ups and, I'm kind of off balance, like that type of thought process, right? And you start making different decisions, right? You start getting a little bit more locked in. You're like, okay, forget all this extra me being fancy stuff. I'm 7-4. I'm finna go get to the rim, which is how that second half went, So I think us getting used to the two Wembys, I don't know if this is gonna be like a long-term, hey, type of thing. I think those two people will eventually meld into one person. You know what I'm saying? But as of right now, yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with the slower starts where you can tell that he's just trying stuff, where you can tell like, okay, am I godly Wemby today, or am I just superhero Wemby today? Like am I all my shots is wet and can't nobody stop me from the 3-point line Wemby? Because that person's scoring 30 some odd 40 points, right? Or am I superhero Wemby where I'm finna be a defensive menace and I'm gonna give you 22, right? Like that type of thing. I love to see the experiments. I'm never mad at him for taking some of the shots that he takes. I mean, there are a couple of shots here and there where it's like, big dog, like, I know you good, but you You just threw that. Like, there wasn't even really no, you know what I mean? But even in those situations, I've seen him make whatever shot he just threw up. So it's part of that, when you take a shot and the coach be like, yo, what are you doing? And then go in, he's like, all right. You know what I mean? That's how I feel sometimes. So I can't be mad at my boy. You know, I love to see him continuing to evolve and him just being, a menace. I think he knows who he is more than the average 19-year-old knows who they are. I think both, on the court and off the court. And it shows. And it shows. There's a maturity across the board. There's a maturity in the way that he speaks and thinks about the game. There's a maturity in the way that he plays and his thought process, the things that he sees on the floor, things like that. I think it's more so about getting the physicals to match up with the mental. You can tell that he's seeing it. You can tell when he's taking shots that he's seeing a certain thing when he takes those shots. So, man, Wemby is going to be a menace, and he's already breaking down people's emotional and mental health as far as, their sports and whatnot is concerned. So I think Rockets fans was already on that edge anyway, just because of the relationship that they didn't had with their franchise and what they got going on. But man, we got us one, for real. We got us one. And it's still surreal at this point. But I'm having way too much fun. You better be too. For real. Take it in, for real. Spurs fans, y'all meet me on Twitter, yo. At Robert Ray Spurs. That's where I'm trying to get a lot of my work in and whatnot. The Spurs Twitter community is so fire, right? I'm probably gonna try to lock in with the Reddit community as well. Spurs fans are so dope, yo. Spurs fans are so dope, and I've definitely felt at home, on Twitter in the Spurs community, just tweeting during games and things like that. So, man, I love the Spurs community so much. I'm gonna try to hit y'all up a little bit more as far as like other types of content and media and things like that. So all that's in the works. I'm working on some big stuff for y'all, man. So I love you guys. Y'all be good. Y'all be nice to people out there. Be examples to people out there. I'll definitely see y'all next time.